Glass going, just want to remind you, it is in fact October, mid-October, and it is fall. I was talking to Randy Meyer in the newsroom. He goes, I love days like this. I said, why? He goes, oh, that smell of like the leaves, and they're all wet and stuff. And I'm like, who likes that smell? It smells like worms.
What do worms smell like? I'm
glad you asked. Go outside and just go, and be like,
never heard that.
Oh my God, now I know what worms smell like.
Okay.
You never knew what worms smell like, huh?
No, I don't smell worms. In my free time.
It's a hobby.
Oh, yeah.
It's, it's a little weird, but yeah, smelling worms. That's what things smell like. 49 degrees right now, dew point of 46. Man, the moisture is loaded into the lowest levels of the atmosphere, and that's not going to change anytime soon. Cloudy, cooler, and rainy today. More of the same tonight. More clouds and sun Wednesday, and then Wednesday night, another round of rain before we warm up in a big way Thursday, even into the day on Friday. So we'll talk about that. I'm going to go outside and get some wet leaves. I'll bring them in, and I'll bring you into the worm smelling category.
We'll smell some worms together.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ian. Mayors across the metro say if they can't change the state's gun laws, then they should be able to do what they want in their cities. They're asking Minnesota lawmakers to pass legislation that allows the cities to make their own decisions about guns. And it comes at a time when a special session looks more and more unlikely. Fox 9's Karen Scullin joining us now. So, Karen, what did the mayors have to say?
Well, the issue, of course, swirling around a possible assault weapons ban has been in the forefront since the Annunciation church shooting back in August. The mayors that gathered are proposing a set of policies that will ban public possession of assault weapons, ban switches that make any gun a machine gun, and a ban on guns in libraries, parks, and rec centers, and require every gun to have a serial number, which essentially is a ban on ghost guns. They say if the legislature can't be passed at the state level, then state lawmakers should repeal the preemption laws that prevent cities and counties from regulating firearms, ammunition, and related components.
We have asked, and we're asking again, for our state to either act and set those things into law statewide, or remove the preemptions that prevent cities from being able to implement these laws.
We must do something, and if state and federal leaders don't act and won't act, cities absolutely will. Cities will lead on gun violence protection in one simple way and one simple reason: we're the closest to the problem, and we are closest to the solution in so many ways.
If the state does not act to protect our children, I believe cities should be allowed to take action at the local level. It's very simple. Our children deserve better.
But today, Rob Dorr of the Minnesota Gun Caucus said these mayors know they can't take any meaningful action, the ordinances they're proposing. These measures are either entirely symbolic or legally unenforceable and will be vulnerable to court challenge. It may earn headlines and the praise of anti-gun activists, but it's not serious governance. And state Republicans have said school security and mental health should be a big part of the gun safety conversation, adding that city gun ordinances would make law-abiding citizens criminals for crossing a city or county line. So with so much disagreement, it's really kind of hard to see a path forward here. Amy?
And Karen, meantime, we've also seen faith leaders, I've noticed, have come forward here, especially in the last week or so.
Right. And today it actually concluded the Interfaith 7 days of prayer, clergy coming together at the Capitol to pray for healing the violence on the streets, but also it was an effort to encourage people to speak up and contact their legislators about passing some gun legislation.
All right.
Amy?
Thank you, Karen.
Abandoned and never touched jobs have a couple of contractors in trouble with the Minnesota Attorney General's office. They are not related, but the AG says their methods are really similar. And they combined to take more than $1.5 million for work that they didn't even do. Fox 9's Corin Hoggard talked with a couple of these victims. He is live in Maplewood tonight. So, Corin, what is the problem at that home in particular?
Yeah, Simone, you can't see it from here, but I'll tell you the basement in this home is completely thrashed. Started with a flood from a pipe burst in 2023, and then they went out and got an insurance adjuster out here. There was a contractor named Ryan Python. He helped them get through this here, and basically he even got them a larger settlement from the insurance company. So they trusted him, and when they got that check from the insurance company, they basically just signed it over to him and let him do the repairs, which he actually did start doing, but he got through an entire flooring job and then just walked away. He even left some of his equipment inside the house here. So what they have now is an unusable basement that has some pretty new flooring in it.
Wow. And Cor, we're not just talking about one family here. The Attorney General's office says that this guy did this to other families.
Yeah, in this case, it's $400,000 from at least 16 Minnesota families. And that does not include the Wadaruchas here, because they have just now filed their complaint with the Attorney General's office after talking to us.
When I learned that he's done this to a ton of other families, I'm a little, I am surprised because, one, because it's a shocking thing to do, but I'm also not surprised because he started giving me the impression that he was very untrustworthy.
So that's the case of Ryan Pytron, but there's also Earl Road, and he is alleged to have taken $1.2 million from 10 Minnesota families, not related, but basically run the same kind of business. He'd basically have a lot of contact at first, and as soon as he got paid, he'd either do a little bit or nothing at all, maybe just disappear into the wind. And there's one case involving a Duluth doctor who had a childhood home in Ramsey County. He paid $900,000 to Road to renovate that house, and Road did do a tiny bit of work on it, but all it did was expose the house to the winter weather, which ruined the house. And when Road just walked away, the doctor eventually had to just demolish his childhood house.
Wow, and I'm sure so many memories there. Corin, curious though, what kind of help or recourse do you have as a homeowner who is, basically frauded by a contractor? Because in this case, the Attorney General filed lawsuits against both contractors and their companies, but we know that that is not always the case.
No, you're right, Simone, there. And the best thing you can do really is to just check for yourself to make sure a contractor is licensed. If they are, then there is a contractor recovery fund. Basically, that means if a licensed contractor does something like this to you, you can sue them, you can get a judgment, and then, some of these people have sued these guys. They haven't paid. But if that happens with a licensed contractor, the state's contractor recovery fund can pay you up to $75,000 right now. It's actually going to go up to $100,000 here pretty soon. So you have some recourse there. But again, the AG's office says both of these contractors lied about being licensed, so you really have to check that for yourself. And then if you do get swindled, it's pretty important to report that. File a complaint with the Attorney General's office and the Department of Labor and Industry, because they control licensing, and that way they know these things are going on and they know that there are accusations against contractors like this.
Yeah, unfortunately, we just have to be careful with everything these days. Corin Haggard reporting live in Maplewood tonight. Thank you, Corin. Well, the Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe has filed a federal PFAS lawsuit against 3M, DuPont, Tyco, and BASF Corporation. And in this lawsuit, they say PFAS has contaminated the reservation based on testing done on 11 public drinking water systems in 2022. And according to this lawsuit, a K-12 school on the reservation has been using bottled water only since testing. The lawsuit also states they found PFAS in fish and deer livers on the reservation, damaging both the food supply for their tribe and their industrial livelihood.
Well, for now, MSP Airport is not showing a video from Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem that blames Democrats for the government shutdown. Several airports across the country are opting not to display the video, which is meant to play in those TSA screening areas. Here's a clip.
Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government, and because of this, many of our operations are impacted, and most of our TSA employees are working without pay.
Well, the Metropolitan Airports Commission tells us they did receive a request to allow that TSA video to air at MSP. They said, quote, TSA is not airing the video while the MAC is evaluating this request under applicable legal requirements. We're grateful for the thousands of federal workers who are continuing to support air transportation at MSP and across the country during this government shutdown.
The jury is set in the retrial of Lyndon Wiggins, the judge starting the day in court by striking a juror for cause after she failed to show up, telling the court that she was not feeling well and that her son may have looked up Wiggins' defense attorney online. Then the prosecutors and defense delivered their opening statements. So 28-year-old Monique Bow was working as a real estate agent in 2019 when she was lured to a Maple Grove home for a fake home showing. That's where she was kidnapped and killed as part of a plot by rivals of her boyfriend. And in total, 5 people were convicted, but last year, Lyndon Wiggins had his conviction tossed out on a technicality related to jury instructions. Wiggins faces a jury of 12, including 3 alternates. It is made up of 7 men and 8 women.
All right, time now to check our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Ian Leonard. Weather on the 9s here, Ian, and worm-smelling weather. Yeah, we got that dirt. Yeah, I get it. I kind of get it, right?
I don't.
Fall. We're still not there yet. With
it's I mean, it's an earthy, dirty, musky.
Yeah.
It's.
I just think, you know, rain has a smell.
Yeah.
But is that the same as the worm smell?
Not even close. No.
Rain.
Okay, but
good smell.
Okay.
Worm smell. Dirt.
Rain is
A question.
fresh. Yes. Rain is fresh. Worms dirty.
Okay, so then I have a question.
Yeah.
My mom and my grandma used to say, "You smell like outside," and I say that a lot when someone comes from outside and comes in, and it's that dirty smell that you're.
Oh, see, I think it's a good thing. I like that outside smell.
Did anyone else's parents say that? I say that all the time. I'm like, oh my God, you smell like outside.
So it's a
Ian,
bad
what's that?
thing.
Yeah,
What's that scent you're wearing, Ian? It's
outside.
Ode to earthworm. Okay, I am gonna go out and get some wet leaves. We're gonna settle
And
this
then
once
I'm
and for
gonna
all.
tell you that you smell like outside. So then it'll be perfect.
No, I'm not gonna rub them all over myself. Just
No, it's
trust
just a
me.
scent when you walk outside.
Okay, well, the outside rain smell is fresh. That's why you get candles that say rain. You're like, oh, it smells so good. You don't get a candle that says worms. Okay, so it is raining, and it will continue to rain as we work through the overnight. The warmest air south of the stationary front. Instead, this is all some very cool air. Cool and rainy tonight. A little break in the rain, but mainly cloudy tomorrow. Back into showers again through tomorrow night before we talk about a glorious forecast on Wednesday. I'm going outside to get worms.
And then you're
Bottle
gonna
it up.
smell like outside.
All right. The trade war with China, we know it's impacting farmers all over the country. Well, Democrats here at home speaking out today. They say that farmers need more support.
But the Trump administration saying help is coming. Rob Olson is digging into that story for us tonight. And a new report shows more businesses are coming to St. Paul. Our So Young Kim is looking into this story.
Plus, the Vikings, they're back. They're getting ready for the Eagles. This is going to be a barn burner. Jim Rich is going to join us next.